Okay. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. You are welcome back to my channel. My name is Kudrat, and today I have a special uh, session. I have had many requests to reshare my motivation letter, my Erasmus Mundus motivation letter, and I'll be doing that today. But before I do that, I've got some tips that will help a lot of people that will listening, let me say watching this video. So I have 10 tips to share. So before going straight to my motivation letter, where all these tips were have been put into use, I'll be sharing these tips before going to that. So let's go. The first tip for writing a good motivation letter. Like my thumbnail contain, I have an information on the thumbnail that states that writing a motivation letter is actually easy, and that is true because it is your story. It is just you finding a balance between your story and the program, basically. So I hope you can hear me because I didn't share a notice for this session, so I'm recording live, but maybe a few people would join. So the first thing is to follow instructions. There are instructions that are related to motivation letter writing, and this depend on the program you're applying for. So for some program you have page limit, for some program you have 500 word count limit, and for some program you may have 1,000 character limit. So for my own personal statement I'll be sharing, we had a page limit for my motivation letter. So the limit, the maximum you can write is just a page. But for some programs, you may have something like 500 words. So make sure that you're writing 499, 490, 480 words and not five 501 or 502 words. So that is the first important information that's I think it's very helpful for people writing their motivation letter. So the info second tip second tip for writing a very good motivation letter is introduce yourself if there is an opportunity. I said if there is an opportunity because for some essays, for some programs, they have essay questions to be answered. And sometimes you may have 500 characters to be written. So in 500 characters, that means all the full stop, commas, the space counts. So in that regards, you don't have opportunity to introduce yourself. So you have all the introduction and the CV. So just go straight to answering the essay questions. So but if you have up to 500 words, a page, you should find at least 2 to 3 sentences to introduce yourself. Maybe you are the best, you graduated as the best student in your department and your CGPA, maybe the overall best student in your university. So you should try to write your strengths, state what your strengths are in few sentences. Really nice, especially in the first paragraph. So just make sure the first paragraph is catchy enough because they'll be reading that post and they have numerous application, numerous motivation letters from applicants they'll be reading. So writing a catchy first two paragraph is essential. So let's go to the third. So it's important to also write your experiences in line with the program objectives. That means you should make sure you put in everything relevant in your motivation letter. So, for instance, applying for something food identity or something related to food science, and you are writing your experience in Red Cross group, I don't think it's really important. So find everything you've done that is related. Like I said earlier, find the balance between your experiences and the program objective. Like you had a bachelor's degree in in food science and technology, and you've completed some courses on food identity techniques or identity technology, and you had maybe the best grade. So those are relevant. So make sure you read the program objective. You should read everything on the program website and note the program objective. Very important. For my program, the objectives include they are willing to train people who can face forestry challenges, global challenges that has to do with forest. So having a degree in forestry or having experiences in forestry will will really help any applicant because my program is currently open. So I'm using that as a case study here. So make sure you write all relevant experiences, but make sure they are in line with the program objectives. So they are willing for my program. The program is willing to train people who will be willing to work in NGOs, forestry organizations, work with local communities. So you should, if you have your post-study plan, it should be written in your motivation letter and it should be in line with the program information. So that will really help you, especially for people who will be applying for the first time, who have never written a motivation letter. So the fourth tip is to choose your mobility track carefully. For some programs, they do not have the options to choose mobility track because all the awardees, all the students, they attend the same universities. But for most Erasmus Mundus programs, there are options to be selected. So for my program, you can see Arosufonama, this is my program. And these are the universities, the options of universities, and the applicant we had to choose two when I applied. But currently for they got a new funding. So currently the applicants for the 2025 awardee, they'll be attending this university first, all of them in Denmark. So they'll be choosing one of these four universities for their second year. So that means your mobility track will include the university in Denmark and one of the universities maybe in the UK, in Germany, in Sweden, or in Italy. So for me, I selected the Göttingen University in Germany for my first year and the Bangor University for my second year. So this was my mobility track. For some people, it was University of Copenhagen in Denmark and Sweden. So that means we had different mobility tracks. So the important thing about mobility track is to notice that each university has a particular focus. So make sure you read about what this university focus on, what the other focus on, so that you will not be choosing a university and you will not be writing something different from their focus in your motivation letter. So make sure you note that. So that is what I mean when I said choosing your track carefully here. Why you love universities? Maybe you fund one of the courses to be completed in the university that you find really fascinating, that are relevant to your career goal, career plan. So make sure you state that. So that already shows why you are selecting the university. So the fifth tip is emphasize the importance of the scholar. I've read a number of motivation letter, and sometimes they do not state how important the Erasmus Mundus scholarship is to them. That means maybe you are considering getting just the admission. That's what it means. So try to emphasize the importance of the fully funded Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Maybe in two sentences or one, it's important. Also, yeah, write your own story. It's your story. Like I said earlier, it's your story. So write your story. Everything should be about you. I mean, that means your motivation letter must be unique. If you've had a sample from previous awardees that you've read, please avoid plagiarism. Using their information in your motivation letter. Please avoid plagiarism. Write your own story. So that's why it's very easy. I don't find it difficult writing the motivation letter. So it's your story. So just write it well. Use the right words, put in the right experiences, and follow instructions. So if you can get a reviewer, someone to review your document, please try to get the document reviewed if you can. So we've had a lot of scholars who were not able to get anyone to review their documents and they won. So it doesn't reduce your chance of winning. But if you can get someone to review your documents, you should try to review. So I review documents, but it's not a paid it's not a paid service, just a token actually. So I think people appreciate paid services more nowadays. So I review document, but it's now paid. Till last year, I was reviewing for free, but there are organizations, groups that review for free, where you can just reach out to scholars. So another thing is doing other things right, because not only these count. You still have your CV, you still have your recommendation letter, you still have your academic scores from your transcript and certificates to be graded. So do other things right, because not only motivation letter matter. However, in some cases, for some programs, it amounts to up to 20-25% of all the selection criteria, selection grade, I'll say. So everything counts, but not only the motivation letter counts. So finally, okay, I think this is second to last. Remain optimistic after doing your best. Pray, remain optimistic. And the last one is win. Is winning after doing everything with due diligence, submitting a competitive application, because it's really competitive, I'll say. It's very competitive. So win and share me your success story when you win. So these are the great tips I've come to share. So after sharing the tips, I'd love to say that I appreciate all my supporters, the subscribers, people who have already subscribed to this channel. But if you have yet to subscribe, you still have chance. It's free. So you should click the subscribe button and share my videos to anyone you think needs this video. Really helpful. So let us go straight to sharing my motivation letter. Now I'll be explaining how you should write yours. But you can reach out to me for review with just a token. That's just to reduce the number of people that were coming in for review actually. And people appreciate paid service more. So let me go in there to present. And I think I have few people already watching. If you have any question, I can easily answer the questions. So let me present my motivation letter. I'm sure this will help a lot of people. I'm very sure. So this is my motivation letter. I had a title. You should have a title too. Maybe just your name and the program. You should have a title too. And if you have word limit, you can have your last name and your initials. And because I had a page limit, I had enough space. So I had my name written for Erasmus Mundus Master's Program in Sustainable Forest and Nature Management. If I had been given a 500 words limit, I would have written maybe Lawal KJ motivation letter for maybe Sufunama and this. I would have just wiped this. Hope you understand, to have more space for more important information. So but for me, I started with introduction. You may want to start with how important Sufunama is, your program is to you, linking your experiences afterwards. But for me, I started with my introduction. My name, some people, you can choose my name is, okay, my name is blah, blah, blah. And I do a first class graduate. And this is not to show that this is my story. Yeah, we've had people who had 221 Erasmus Mundus scholarship. So don't limit yourself. Submit that application. So this is my own story. So I earned a forestry and wood technology degree with a CGPA. If it was 500 word limit, I would have written maybe CGPA. So of 90% from my university, and try to make sure you earn the university with your country, because so many people are applying from different parts of the world. So we don't know where Federal University of Technology Akure is. Is it in Ghana? Is it in Gambia? Is it in Pakistan? So for me, before attending this FATE in 2018, that was I graduated in 2018, I completed a diploma in science laboratory technology, because basically all this forestry, food science, they include both field work and laboratory work. So I just thought this is important too. So this was completed in 2012. Make sure you make everything statistical in 2012. So the purpose of writing this is to express my strong interest in the program which I'm writing here. So make sure you're writing the correct name of the program with the hope. So this is the aim of writing this motivation letter. So I've observed a particular problem, and this is related to the objective of my program. If you check, so I've observed the rate of deforestation, the state of our environment, and the need for sustainable management. So that's what I've observed. I've studied for 5 years of my bachelor's, and I've observed this, and I see that it fits in the objective of the Erasmus program. So therefore, I'm tailoring my research ideas towards bringing conservation to the people in Africa, in their farmlands, urban areas, and social cycles. So that means all these people are also important stakeholders, because with forestry, in forestry, we can't do away with the social community. So I'm writing that too. It is also related to the objective of my program. So I'm quoting Sir David, one of the great ecologists. So the world needs people skilled in the expertise needed to play a crucial role in solving the world's problem. So I'm rounding up the aim of writing this particular motivation letter, the problem I've identified, and relating it with the objective of my program, so for NAMA, with this quote. So I'm not writing anything about that anymore. So moving to it is important to make your writing, in short, I love to say to follow. Let everything follow. Let everything follow suit. And people will say in the right word, they use coherent. Let everything. So not jumping from one information. Some people write the university year, and in the third paragraph they are saying, I graduated in 2020, when you've already written everything about your academic history here. So make everything coherent. So the next paragraph, I completed undergraduate courses on sustainable forest management, obviously related to my program, obviously with the name, conservation, agroforestry, forest policy and governance, and technology-driven forest maintenance. And these are very related to the courses I completed under Erasmus Mundus. So you can see it's interesting. So to advance science, I have conducted research on 2 non-timber forest products. The research methodology involved. So this is important to include your bachelor's research if it is related to the program you're applying for. So I've added that. And this established grants through which more values can be obtained from these 2 species. And can alleviate poverty, and forests can be conserved. So I've also supplemented my education with trainings. So this training, by training, I mean online courses under this big forestry information organization. So this is a forestry organization. This is a forestry organization. This FAO, the common FAO. So you can see I've written everything about my bachelor's, the aim of applying, the problem I've identified, few courses I have completed that are very related to my program, and the research I've done to show that I have research experiences. So I've written everything about my past experiences. So I'm moving to the current involvement. So next paragraph, currently I serve as a project assistant at CEFA, and through the organization I have related and educated farmers on sustainability in Oyo State, Nigeria. You can see I'm writing the country because where is Oyo State? Is it in Spain? So you have to write it. I've also led a team to sensitize students on Sustainable Development Goal 14, climate action in 4 schools. So to have more research experiences, you can see I'm putting so that's why it's important to write carefully, all the commas, all the full stop. I volunteered as a graduate research assistant at FRIN, Ibadan, Nigeria. So where is FRIN? So Nigeria. And the outcome of some researches have been published. So this shows I've related with a lot of people. I have communication skills. I've related with farmers, research assistants, professors, research officers in different parts of the world, and I've co-authored some publications. So I'm moving on to my choice of mobility track. The combination of the first year modules. So that shows that I've done my research, reading through the website, the Sofonaba website, and checking the courses to be completed at the University of Göttingen and the second university in the UK. So I stated that a combination of the first year modules in Germany and the second year modules in the UK is a perfect match for my short term and future aspirations. So I'm trying to state my short term career goal and the long term in just 2 sentences. So the career goal is to collaborate with rural dwellers and organizations, which I'm currently doing, to look into existing forestry related challenges. You see, this is related to the objective of my program. Then plan mitigation using nature based solution. I'm doing this through my experience with RSPB in the UK currently. On the other hand, my long term goal is to work in world class academia to conduct research and train generations of environmentalists. However, all these will remain just ideas without the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Now, I stated emphasizing on how important the scholarship is. So, without this sentence, I might have gotten just admission to pay for my studies. So, that shows how important the funding is to me. So, as a Sophonema scholar, that means during the study, I would share and gain ideas from fellow students of the same program, and I did. Build a strong network, I did, and learn more about cultural diversity, I did. You have no choice, you will. So leveraging the time, the funds, and my supervisor's guidance available during the program, I would attend conferences to present research findings. I'm still working on publishing my thesis, so maybe the next IFRO conference, I'll be presenting my research findings. And you see everything summarized: my academic experience, my research experience, volunteering experience, relating it with the objective of Sufonama, my current experience, my plan after study, my plan during while studying, and everything important. So thank you for considering my application, and I included a signature. That's all. And I'm very sure this will help a lot of people. Let me see if I have a few questions. Okay, no question. That's nice. So if you have questions, you can put in the comment section. And I wish you all the best. And my program is currently open. If you know anyone who studied forestry or biotechnology, environmental management, you can apply. Oh, I think they have 6 days to deadline. So that's only if they have all the documents ready. So it's very easy to write a motivation letter. It's your story. So mine will be different from yours. So wish you guys the best. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye for now.